Okay, let's talk about what makes accounting so hard. So, most of us who choose to study accounting usually do pretty well in Intro to Financial Accounting. You're learning debits and credits, and you're like, yep, I've got this. Debits on the left, credits on the right. Here's my accounting equation. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You go through the transactions. You're like, I can build journal entries in my sleep. Now, what happens? So, when you go from intermediate financial accounting to all of a sudden you're into maybe your junior year of college, and you're generally taking intermediate financial accounting 1, you're generally taking intermediate cost accounting, or maybe cost accounting for the first time ever, and you're taking those at the same time. So you go from learning about debits and credits and the financial statements to now all of a sudden you veer off into a million different concepts in intermediate financial accounting. And when I say a ton of concepts, I mean you're learning things about like-kind exchanges or basically non-cash transactions. You learn about what does and doesn't get recognized. You think revenue is super easy, and then you learn there's all these rules and we got to allocate it. And what do we do for research and development versus capitalization? How do we know where things go? So you learn all these other rules, and sometimes you get so wrapped up in the rules that we forget our basics. What are these journal entries about? What are we trying to record? Then, at the same time, simultaneously, you are learning cost and managerial accounting, which is a completely different language. It uses all these non-GAAP things. Yeah, there's some GAAP behind it. Maybe there's absorption costing, but you're trying to think through the logic of like, why would you use this versus this versus this? And it is just a lot of rules to take in. And when you are learning managerial and financial at the same time, it's almost like speaking two different languages and trying to keep those straight at the same time. So it is challenging, and there are a lot of rules. But I always recommend, if you are struggling, go back to basics. If you're struggling to remember how to do something, walk through, okay, what is going on? What is the effect on my financial statements? Can I write the journal entry? Can I write part of the journal entry? If you start with what you know, put it in T accounts, write out your accounting equation, everything starts to feel a little bit easier. I know accounting can be a ton of work and it can be really intimidating, but if you can take it back to basics, that means you have a solid understanding of the transaction at hand and what is going on. So that is always going to be my recommendation.